Good Wednesday morning to you. I'm Eastern PA Weather Authority meteorologist Bobby Marchich. This is your outlook for September 25th, 2013. And starting off with another day with not much happening with high pressure control. And you can see it here over the Great Lakes region. And it has been staying there for the last couple of days. And that has been providing us with some fair weather and precipitation free for the last couple of days here, and much that looks like it's going to continue right straight through the weekend here. Here's what we're looking at on a Wednesday. You got an area low pressure here that's sitting over the Carolinas, is going to head off to the east and aimlessly to the south, and we'll miss our area entirely. And that's because of this high pressure sitting up here in this area. For the next couple of days here, really not much change. Here's Thursday, high pressure still sitting up here. And then we get to Friday, it expands a little bit southward, it heads over maybe over northern New York State at this point. And then as we get to Saturday, that moves off the eastern seaboard here, and it's pretty much sitting on top of us. So because it's sitting on top of us, extending back this way here, we're probably going to have our the brightest sunshine day, if you will, over the next 4 days here anyway. Probably the day we have like the least amount of clouds, I guess you would say. But every other day is going to be mostly sunny. Nothing to deal with as far as precipitation is concerned. Temperatures near normal temperatures for this time of year. Now our eyes are going to be turned toward off the eastern seaboard here late in the weekend here, as we get into Saturday night, Sunday. Here's Sunday here. You're going to see a system starting to appear here off the southeastern U.S. coastline. Now, there's some speculation here that this is going to come a little bit close to the area here. Here's the GFS at 18Z. Now, the problem I have with this is a couple things. One, you have a trough here, a cold front that's going to be moving in from the northwest. You have high pressure sitting out here in the east that's kind of acting like a block. And GFS is not phased by this. It's actually picked up by this trough and actually forced out to sea harmlessly, and there are no impacts along the eastern seaboard here. So we head to the east to the European model. It has a little bit different of an idea. Now here's Sunday morning, 8 o'clock, has a system sitting here off of Cape Hatteras, well to the east of Hatteras here by a good 75 to 100 miles. And it's a pretty strong system. What the European model does in the future frames here is actually pulls this thing back to the northwest a little bit, and then curves it up here like this to a position just south of Long Island. And this is off the 12Z run that ran on Tuesday afternoon. It does get it close enough where you would feel some impacts here in this area here. And now we're not talking about a Hurricane Sandy type deal here where it takes a left hook, and obviously it's not as nearly as strong. We're talking about 997 millibars. Sandy, when it made landfall, was somewhere around 964. So we're not talking about anything that nearly that strong or catastrophic. So I don't want to get anybody excited about this, but you could have, if this did actually venture up close enough to the coastline here, you could have some winds along the coast gusting 40-50 miles an hour, and it could be like a classic nor'easter that we've had in years past. But we're not expecting anything like that. We're actually expecting this thing to stay a little bit further offshore and not impact the area here. Not necessarily going with the GFS model completely here, but I think it has the right idea where it's a little bit further offshore than the European model has it. And then you see in future frames here, GFS just takes us to the north here, and the system stays weak and then heads off to the northeast, picked up by this trough as it heads east here. I think it's going to be the most likely scenario. That's what we're siding with in a moment, and then for that reason, we're keeping it, we're keeping it dry here on Sunday and Monday, and maybe just a few clouds filter in. If this gets close enough, we could get affected by some clouds, but that's about it. So I don't want to alarm anybody thinking we're going to get this big East Coast storm or a hurricane. Is definitely not a tropical system. If anything, it might be hybrid subtropical or extratropical, what have you. But I think it stays far enough offshore. But we will keep an eye on it over the next couple of days and see where it goes, and see if the European model actually ends up correct, where it brings it a little bit close to the coast, which would impact New Jersey and eastern Pennsylvania. I'm Eastern PA Weather Authority meteorologist Bobby Marchich. That is your outlook for September 25th, 2013. Have a great Wednesday.